let's move on.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Bulobinaka, and a very good morning to you all. Ladies and gentlemen, I spent past 8 days across the river, where the stakes of our negotiations at this COP are as high as they have ever been. We keep on saying that if we do not halve global carbon emissions by 2030, we will blow past the 1.5 degree guardrail of the Paris Agreement, and of course create down a path, a causeway of catastrophe, to storms, to fires and floods, to droughts and heat waves, and erratic weather around the world, along with the heart-wrenching loss of entire island nations. I'll admit, amid the deafening ring of those alarm bells, hope is not always so easy to hear. But if I lacked faith in what is possible, I wouldn't have bothered coming here to the other side of the world. Neither would our teams of Pacific negotiators putting the long days and sleepless nights if they believed, even for a single second, that our best future was beyond our reach. We don't mistake this moment for anything less than defining for the decade. We know that correcting costs will be the single largest and most complex effort mounted in modern history. But we've also seen how it can become our single greatest opportunity. Opportunity for jobs, for innovation, and for gains in well-being. Some of you have heard this talk before from politicians. I know I have. If the 6 years since Paris has taught us anything, it is that speeches won't save us, nor will words on paper. That isn't to say we haven't made meaningful progress. We have. But even the most ambitious policies are lifeless without leadership that cuts across the public and private sector and that delivers at the grassroots. From seaside Fijian communities to the world's great coastal megacities, it is you, the cutting-edge innovators and leaders in sustainability, who can deliver real change, the kind of change that Fiji is here to fight for. We need bold and courageous partners. Corporates who claim to be focused on sustainability should not strive for the bare minimum. Too often, I see so-called sustainability officers and executives guarding their corporate interests, not from climate impacts like the rising seas, but rather from the shifting tides of public opinion. They let change happen to them by doing only what is demanded instead of driving it themselves. Other leaders, real leaders are bold. They are pioneers of this new frontier. They see the future markets, future profits, and the future of their businesses. Then they will reap the greatest rewards from the steady but certainly inevitable transformation. They operate on an infinite time horizon and see their place clearly in this century as part of a society, not solely as a driver of shareholder value, but as a value add for humanity. They forge genuine partnerships. They find ways to create long-term progress that recognizes the fragile balance between humanity, the climate, and the natural world, and seeks to preserve it. Major multilateral corporations, some of whom are represented at this forum, operate beyond the scale of entire countries. Governments can deploy billions. They can unlock trillions. Our message to them is simple. Work with us. Nations like Fiji are not only on the front line of climate impacts, we are also on the front line of systematic change. We face the type of urgency and imperative to act that have always been ingredients in the recipe for the great innovation. We are the laboratories of the future, and we are aggressively seeking opportunities to enlist the private sector, leverage additional resources, and drive expertise into solutions that can be scaled up to create global and generational good. We are committed to a renewable energy revolution. Our net zero ambition is legally empowered by our recently passed Climate Change Act, and we have clearly stated plans to build our climate resilience, including by harnessing nature. Ladies and gentlemen, Fiji was one of the first developing countries to issue a green bond to bring in private sector investments to drive green ambition, including our 30 million tree planting commitment. And we intend to issue the first blue bond next year to tap our ocean's vast potential for sustainable innovation. All 1.3 square kilometers of our Blue Pacific are coming under a regime of sustainable management by 2030. Instead of ripping up the floor of the ocean, we've banned deep seabed mining in this decade. Instead, we're exploring opportunities in ocean-based energy, like tidal and wave power. We're working towards decarbonizing shipping and growing our sustainable aquaculture sector. We're incubating innovation that serves people and the planet and that can benefit any business bold enough to enlist alongside us. Across our 330 islands, there is no shortage of projects or objectives on which we can partner to deliver. Nor are there limits on the potential on what our future can hold. I'm here today to say Fiji is open for investment, for innovation, and to all the ingenuity I know the participants of this forum will unleash. Now, please excuse me, I'm heading back across the river to wrap up a week that must deliver for all of us. I wish you well today and tomorrow at this forum. As we say in Fiji, Thank you, and God bless you all.